Hi there, learners. So, we already know that all words are made up of sounds. And we know that the sounds that we hear in words match the sounds that letters make when we write them or read them on paper or in books. Today, we're going to be listening to the ending sound of words. This is different than the beginning sound. Now we're listening to the ending sound, the last sound. And we're going to be sorting them into groups where all the words have the same ending sound. Let me show you how I listen for the ending sound of a word on my arm. I'll hold out my arm like this. You can do it with me. Ready? I'm going to say the word cat. Ready? Cat. Cat. Are you doing that with me? Cat. What is the last sound I heard in cat? What sound is down here? Cat. Oh, the last sound is t. Listen, cat. See what's right here? T. Now you try. Let's say the word dog. Hold out your arm and stretch the word dog on your arm. Go ahead, you do it first. Dog. Dog. What is the ending or the last sound of the word dog? Is it d-d-d-d-d? No, that's the first sound. Silly Miss Minion. We want the last sound, the ending sound. Dog. Let's listen again. Dog. What is the ending sound? Dog. Do you hear it? It's g-g-g-g. That's the sound that's on the end of my arm. That is the last sound, the ending sound of dog. All right, are you ready to sort some picture cards? I know I am. Let's do it. All right, let's listen to the ending sounds in some of these picture cards. Let's start with this one. This is the number 4. Say the number 4. What is the last sound you hear in the word for? Use your arm to help you. I hear a sound at the end of the word for. I'll put it over here. This is a worm. Can you say the word worm? Use your arm to help you. Worm. What sound do you hear at the end of the word worm? I hear a at the end of the word worm. Does the end of the word for sound the same as the end of the word worm? Yeah, it's like for were. No? Silly Miss Minion, that's not the last sound. That's in the middle. Worm. The last sound is Oh my goodness, so silly. So worm needs to go in its own pile. I'll put it over here in its own column. This is a fire. Say the word fire. What is the last sound you hear in the word fire? Yeah, I hear a at the end of fire. Does fire sound the same at the end as for? What do you think? Yes, they both end with the sound. For fire. Let's look at another one. This is a duck. Can you say the word duck? What is the ending sound in the word duck? Oh yeah, it's a k sound. Do you hear it? Duck. Does duck sound the same at the end as for? For duck. What do you think? No. What about worm? Worm, duck. Do those sound the same at the end? No. So maybe I'll put duck in its own pile. Words that end in the k sound, like duck. This is a clock. Can you say the word clock? What is the ending sound of the word clock? What sound do you hear at the end? I hear a k sound at the end of clock. Do you hear that too? Where does it go? Does clock sound the same at the end as for? For clock. What do you think? Nah. What about worm? Worm, clock. Do those sound the same at the end? No. Worm ends with a sound, but clock ends with a k sound. What about here? Duck, clock. Do those have the same sound at the end? They do. They both end with the k sound. I'll leave it there. This is a pear. Say the word pear. What sound do you hear at the end of the word pear? Pear. I hear a at the end of pear. Is that the same ending sound as the word for? For pear. What do you think? Yes, they both end with the sound. What about this? This is a picture of gum. Can you say the word gum? What sound do you hear at the end of the word gum? I hear a at the end of the word gum. Do you hear it too? Let's see what column it goes in. Does gum have the same ending sound as for? For gum. What do you think? Nah. For ends with a but gum ends with a sound. What about here? Worm, gum. What do you think? Yes, they both end with the sound. Worm, gum. This is a book. Say the word book. What sound do you hear at the end of the word book? Yeah, I hear a k at the end of the word book. Where does it go? Does book have the same ending sound as for? Nah, for book. Does book have the same ending sound as worm? Worm, book. What do you think? Nah, worm ends with a sound, but book ends with a k sound. What about here? Duck, book. Do those have the same ending sound? What do you think? Yeah, they both end with the k sound. This is a picture of jam. Say the word jam. What sound do you hear at the end of the word jam? Jam. Yeah, I hear a at the end of the word jam. Let's see where it goes. Does jam sound the same at the end as for? Do they have the same ending sound? For jam. What do you think? Nah. What about here? Worm, jam. Do those have the same ending sound? Yes, they both end with the sound. Let's do 3 more. This is a drum. Can you say the word drum? What is the ending sound of the word drum? Yeah, I hear a at the end too. Does drum have the same ending sound as for? For drum. What do you think? Nah. Does drum have the same ending sound as worm? What do you think? Drum, worm. Yes, they both end with the sound. This is a cake. Can you say the word cake? What is the ending sound in the word cake? Yeah, I hear a k at the end of the word cake. Where does it go? Does cake have the same ending sound as for? For cake. What do you think? Nah. What about here? Worm, cake. Do those 2 words have the same ending sound? Nah, worm ends with a cake ends with a k. What about here? Duck, cake. Do those have the same ending sound? Yes, they both end with a k sound. Duck, cake. Here's the last one. This is a star. What do you hear at the end of the word star? The ending sound is a sound. Star. Where does star go? Does star sound the same at the end as for? Do they have the same ending sound? For star. What do you think? Yes, they both end with a sound. All right, let's check each column to make sure that all the words have the same ending sound. Read them with me. For, fire, pear, star. What do you think? Yes, they all end with the sound, like R, ring, Let's check this column. Say them with me. Worm, gum, jam, drum. Do those all have the same ending sound? Yes, they all end with the sound. like M, mouse, Let's check the last column. Say them with me. Duck, clock, book, cake. Do those all have the same ending sound? Yes, they all end with the k sounds, like K, kite, k. Awesome job. If you have a copy of these cards at home, the KMR ending sound sort, you can practice it on your own. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time.